Up next in Win News, police launch a murder investigation after the discovery of human remains. The young father fighting for life after being shot in the stomach. And all eyes on the Health Minister as Parliament returns. See you soon.
Across Tasmania, this is Win News.
Tonight, tributes for a Launceston man after police recover human remains. A young father fighting for life after being shot at Bridgewater. And meet the Aussie in the running for a one-way ticket to Mars. Good evening, I'm Bruce Roberts. Also tonight, the Health Minister slammed on the eve of the return of State Parliament. A torso believed to be that of missing Launceston man Jake Daniel Anderson Bretner has been recovered by police in the state's northeast. Authorities say they're now treating his death as a murder and are urging anyone with information to come forward.
Police spent last night searching an area near Myrtle Park. It was there they discovered a torso believed to be that of missing Launceston man Jake Daniel Anderson Bretner. Eleanor Watt, Win News.
A young Tasmanian father is fighting for life tonight after being shot in the stomach at Bridgewater. Police are describing the incident as a targeted attack and say they're close to charging the man responsible. Lucy Braden joins us now from outside the Royal Hobart Hospital.
Bruce, the 24-year-old father remains in a critical condition here at the Royal after being shot in the stomach at close range last night. Now, as you can imagine, police say he sustained significant injuries in the attack and he remains in an induced coma where he is expected to recover. Here's how the night unfolded. Rushed to hospital with catastrophic injuries. Paramedics worked tirelessly to save the young dad's life. Anyone with information or CCTV is urged to contact Crime Stoppers.
He did not deserve it. Even if he owed $1 million, he doesn't deserve it.
Lucy Braden, Win News.
Tasmania Police, along with the National Anti-Gang Squad and Queensland Police, are tonight being given a say on proposed legislation to lock outlaw motorcycle gangs out of Tasmania. Tomorrow, all eyes will be on the government, expected to be grilled when State Parliament returns.
Celebrating 150 years of primary education, the Minister today met with the newest generation of bright sparks.
Doctors, nurses and paramedics will march to Parliament House lawns on Thursday, calling for more funding and support. They say Tasmania's health system is quickly becoming irreparable, but the state government disagrees.
Health advocate and cancer survivor Jim Frankie is one of many Tasmanians who will rally in Hobart this Thursday.
The insurance bill from May's storm and flood disaster has reached nearly $100 million, with more than 8,500 Tasmanian residents and businesses lodging claims. The Insurance Council says around half those claims have now been dealt with after specialists and equipment was sent to the state to speed up the recovery effort. It's the biggest natural disaster to hit Australia this year. After the break tonight on Win News, calls for funding to improve infrastructure at a top Tasmanian destination. And the choir singing the praises of Hobart's sister city relationship. Hello again and welcome back to Win News. Let's take a look at some headlines from further afield. And starting in Canberra, the Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull has killed the National Energy Guarantee to save his job. The embarrassing backdown comes amid growing speculation of another leadership spill. A father and son have been found dead after their Ocean Grove house went up in flames. Meantime, an Epping home has been destroyed by fire after a 4-year-old boy lit paper on a stove. Overseas now, and at least 2 people killed as more strong earthquakes rock Indonesia's Lombok Island. A British woman rescued after falling from a cruise liner and spending 10 hours in the ocean. Back home now, and Melbourne fans are elated with the D's to play finals for the first time in 12 years. Tasmania's peak tourism body says it will push the button hard on boosting tourism at Freycinet and is campaigning for more state and federal funding to improve sewerage infrastructure.
It's almost embarrassing in 2018 that Coles Bay of all places is having beaches closed for sewage. So clearly getting a sewage solution at Freycinet has got to be a priority.
There's a fresh push to make child safety services more aware of the effects of brain injury in an effort to keep families together. It comes as Tasmania's Brain Injury Association marks 20 years of shining a light on the hidden disability.
A car crash more than 2 decades ago changed Nick Bailey's life.
I was driving home from the pub where I'd had dinner and a few drinks with my best friend, and I fell asleep 150 metres along the road from my driveway.
Proving Hobart's sister city relationship with Yeosu in Japan is on song. A renowned Japanese youth choir put on a show at the town hall this afternoon, delighting the crowd with a mixture of Australian and Japanese music. It's the 5th time the choir has performed at Hobart, and they were joined on stage by students from Mount Carmel and St Virgil's. Time for some Monday night sport with Brent Costelloe, and Brent, questions remain over Luke Jackson's future in the ring.
They sure do, Bruce, after, of course, he fell gallantly in Saturday's interim world title fight in Northern Ireland. More on that after the break. Also tonight, the party continues for Hobart's new Seabull champions.
This report brought to you by Mazda CX-3. Hurry in for added value this August.
Welcome back. Hobart Chargers coach Anthony Stewart admits he's still on cloud 9 after his side emphatically claimed the Seabull Championship. Today, players and coaches let their hair down at Mad Monday celebrations.
Anything goes when you're the first Hobart Chargers side to win a championship in a decade. With drinks flowing, stories were shared from the memorable season that was.
Time to relax and celebrate a little bit, and then who knows what players will come back or re-sign, but it's a good time right now.
Glenorchy's Daniel Joseph and North Launceston playing coach Taylor Whitford have been crowned joint winners of the TSL's Player of the Year award. It sets up a mouth-watering first week of the finals, with Joseph's Magpies to meet the Blues for a second time in a fortnight. The winner will play North Launceston for a spot in the decider.
A subdued handshake from Daniel Joseph, joint winner in the Player of the Year.
Yeah, I know a lot of my family and friends have been pretty interested in it, so that's good.
It's a sentiment shared by his co-recipient. Taylor Whitford proud, but has sights set on a bigger prize.
At this point in time, nothing that I'm going to focus on. My job's not done.
The pair topped the star-studded final leaderboard, putting a considerable gap ahead of Launceston's Chase Jones and North Launceston's Josh Pointing, who finished 3rd and 4th respectively. But the focus now turns to Saturday, with the first week of finals set. Clarence and Lauderdale clash in a do-or-die contest, while Glenorchy meets Launceston for the second consecutive week. Jake Keating, Win News.
Launceston City goalkeeper Nico Giansopoulos says he doesn't regret his controversial approach to saving a goal kick against South Hobart at the weekend. Giansopoulos was handed a yellow card for this defiant act, which conversely led to him saving the penalty. Despite its success, the Canadian says he might steer clear of the unorthodox move next time. And Bruce, that wraps up a big Monday night in sport.
Surely was, Brent. Thank you very much for that. We'll have your full weather details for you after the break. With news, there's a sprinkle of rain due for tomorrow. Tasmania, let's take a look at your weather now. A mixture of high, mid and low-level cloud and rain has persisted across the state this afternoon. Taking a look at those details, King Island collected just under 5 mils of rain from 9 until 5 today, a low of -1 for Flinders. Smithton, Wynyard, Burnie and Devonport all topped out at 12 degrees. King William Creek received the most rainfall overnight with 13 mils into the gauge and up to 19 mils throughout the day until 5 p.m. Winds gusted up to 48 kilometres an hour at Oatlands this afternoon, and the mercury reached 9 degrees at Hobart. To the satellite now, and a cold front over Tasmania will move away to the east tonight while an associated low passes to the south. The low will then track to the east later tomorrow. We can see that on the synoptic, while a ridge of high pressure approaches from the west. To the waters now, and in the northwesterly winds up to 30 knots tomorrow with 3 metre seas. For the east seas, we'll be up to 3 metres on a southerly swell, also up to 3 metres. The south will have winds winds up to 35 knots with a southwesterly swell up to 6 metres. And in the west, seas will be up to 3 metres on a southwesterly swell up to 6 metres. Now, there is a gale warning current for southeastern coastal waters from the Tasman Island to the southeast Cape for westerly winds. A strong wind warning has been issued for remaining coastal waters except for the upper east coast. And a minor flood warning is current for the River Derwent, along with a flood watch for the Huon River. Let's take a look at some forecasts for tomorrow. Showers about for the west and south, extending statewide during the afternoon, mostly contracting to the northwest later in the evening. Possible hail about for the west and south as well. Snow is expected to fall to around 800 metres in the south. And winds will be west to southwesterly before turning southerly in the evening and fresh to strong about the coast. Interstate tomorrow. Mostly sunny for Darwin, a shower or two over Melbourne. Sydney seeing 16 degrees and cloudy conditions once again in Victoria. Looking back at detail in Tasmania along the northwest coast, we should see the temperatures up towards the mid-teens, which will be quite nice. A partly cloudy conditions with winds easing. For Launceston tomorrow, much the same with early frost about for both Wednesday as well into Thursday. We're going to see those minus temperatures both Wednesday and Thursday night. For Hobart, partly cloudy also with showers clearing from midweek. The temperatures getting up towards the high teens towards the end of the week. And that is how we saw your news. Thanks very much for your company this Monday, August 20. We're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night from 6. Now, Brent Costelloe will join you throughout the evening and tomorrow with news updates, but I'm looking forward to your company again tomorrow night.